rock it out. Well, yeah, what a great night for us, you know. What a great last week for this team as we're trying to figure ourselves out, you know, to win in Champaign, to win in Illinois, and to come back and methodically beat a good team, a team that I think is going to, you know, be a championship team in their league and possibly an NCAA tournament team. I thought our defense on the big fella was fabulous. I thought what Zach August gave us was great, guarding the big guy, and what he did on the other end. Demetrius Jackson looks like he's running the building like Jaron Grant used to run the building. He's starting to run the building. And other guys, you know, it's a good night for us because I think they're really good. So, you know, nice step forward. We'd like to win 3 in a row and then go to exams.
Like, how much did what Zach was able to do last year with playing against Okafor and playing against Downs, really prepare him where he wasn't fazed by the guy's numbers, he just went out and did what he needed to do?
Yeah, I thought he was really looking forward to the matchup the last 2 days. It was kind of neat because he's, you know, there's a buzz about this kid. And, you know, Zach's a little bit like, wait a minute now, I've played against some pretty good big guys here, you know, already. And I thought, you know, in the first half, he never really let him get comfortable. I thought our guards did a good job coming down and crowding him. And, you know, we did a great job on the backboard. You know, we kept it to one and done and really rebounded it. And then second half offensive efficiency again, this time with the smaller lineup. You know, we downshifted. And, you know, we were really efficient there in those possessions to kind of pull away.
Where do you think you are right now in terms of Zach and Bonzi spacing when they are on the court together?
Yeah, you know what? It's probably a little bit better every week. A little bit better every week. We're never going to look as pretty with those two guys, but they do some things they do some things on the other end of the floor, like rebounding the ball, where, you know, I'm okay living with not it being aesthetically pleasing, you know, as maybe the smaller lineup does. But I thought Bonds is getting great with the ball, facing the bucket, dribble exchange, you know, ball screening, helping. Zach, I think, you know, both those guys can step out and space the floor. But, you know, I mean, we shot 55% from the floor. I mean, you know, that's, you know, I think we were pretty efficient there.
I think you've grown a little more comfortable rotating in the 3 guys off the bench with whoever. You know, at one point, Colson and August were both out. In the first half.
Yeah, it was it. I thought Torres gave us great minutes. Those are those energy minutes where, you know, come in, do some stuff, and he's always done that for us. And I got a lot of respect for him because, you know, he's not playing 20 minutes, but he does what he's supposed to do. And then, you know, I think Matt Farrell gives us another off the dribble guy. You know, so when he's in there with Steve and Demetrius, we got 3 guys that can kind of break you down a little bit. And I thought, you know, Matt Ryan, you know, he was in it. You know, we want to keep developing those 3 guys. Right now, those 3 guys are the guys, but it's a long haul.
I mean, as much as you want to keep developing those bench guys, the priority has to be developing your starting 5, though.
No question.
Right now. So.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, Demetrius Jackson, you got to be on the floor when I ask you to run the building. You got to be on the floor to run the building. You know, you can't take too many, you know, breaks. I need you out there. I need you out there because you need to be able to talk to the officials all the time, too. And all that stuff, that's all part of it, man. You're out there the whole time. You start to run the building. And again, I think he's really developing into that. You know, so yeah, I mean, our key guys are learning to play together. I like how they played defensively together tonight. We needed to improve defensively man-to-man wise because we couldn't rely on our man-to-man in Champaign. Now, we did a heck of a job in zone, and tonight, for about 7 possessions, zone gave us good stuff because I think they missed 6 of 7 shots when we were in it. So, you know, still, it's just a good week for us to kind of go, you know, two wins in a row, 2 good teams. I think something to build on. We'll watch it tomorrow.
Was the fact that you had Saturday, Sunday, double-double also part of that good week?
Yeah, I think, no question. We got practice reps. You know, there's no question because from Thanksgiving night, really through the Illinois game, we didn't get productive practice because you're more worried about rest and recovery. But, you know, we were able to rest Thursday, Friday after Champaign. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we really had 3 good practices. And, you know, and we needed it. And we even split the jerseys up. The starters didn't play one day. And that makes it amazingly competitive when you mix the jerseys up, and it kind of refreshes the practice atmosphere. Today, that was practice. Yesterday was practice 36. We got a long way to go. We've already been on that floor a lot.
Zach mentioned that he didn't know as much about Warney at first, and then he went on ESPN and saw his stats.
Yeah.
So did having some of that extra time, like you mentioned in practice, also help Zach get mentally prepared?
We build him up because he's delivered, and what he's done, and I think for Zach, I think he prepared for it. It's a little bit like what Tom brought up. He prepared for it like, okay, here comes Okafor, and here comes a big dude from Kentucky, and here comes Carolina's front line, all 5 of them or whatever they are, and bring them on. Let's compete against all of them. So I'm pleased with both ends of the floor for him.
Where has he improved the most on the defensive end of the floor?
Body position, staying, just not getting out of position. He had a great chest tonight. We talk about put a chest on that guy. Warney bounced off and had to take a little bit of a fade hook, and he couldn't always square people up, just staying down, contesting a guy so he catches it out a little further, and then he's got to bounce off your chest and I think he's made really good strides there.
Mike, how important was it for this group to build? I mean, it's a 4-point game. All of a sudden, it's a 25-point game. You haven't done that this year.
No, I'm really excited about the last starting in Champaign. I think we've really made some great progress, and so something to build on, and we'll watch it tomorrow. Get a little bit of rest. The one thing. It's a busy academic week too. My guys I don't know how much attention I'm going to have the next 2 days, and that's okay. But hopefully by Friday afternoon I'll have attention and we'll be able to, focus on Loyola.
Mike, Steve with a quiet 10 points.
Yeah, he's I thought they did a good job taking away his drive, but overall he was really steady. Again, defensively he was rock solid for us, and Steve kind of adds what he needs to add and never forces anything other than that drive down the middle when he ran over 3 guys in the ref. That may have been the only time I was like, Steve, that's not you. That was an out-of-body experience. Anyways. But we've told him to drive more, so that's on me.
You made it, actually, too.
Yeah, it went in, didn't it?
As you talk about Demetrius running the building, and, I asked him specifically about, now that he's 8-10 games in, whatever the number is, how has he found the mantle of leadership? And the first words out of his mouth were, it's hard. It's really, so how do you see his growth, and how do you see the others on the team responding to it and kind of lining up there?
It reminds me of Ryan Humphrey telling me at the end of his senior year how exhausting leading was. And for Demetrius, we talked about it in the summer, but I'm glad he was so honest about it, because it is. You're thinking about a lot of stuff. I think one of the great growth nights for him was in Champaign, because at halftime he had not played well. We're down, and a younger Demetrius may have been worried I'm not playing well, and wouldn't have been able to lead and talk and kind of set a tone. We're going to be fine. We're going to get off to a good. And I walked in, and that was his tone. And I thought to myself, man, I don't know how this thing's going to end, but that's unbelievable for him. So he's really made progress there. The guys respect the heck out of him. I think he's learned when to be a diplomat and not when to get on him. He's learning that,
He mentioned that too.
He has. That's good, because he's learned you can't always browbeat him, and but he wants it so bad for his team. He's really pure, man. He just wants it bad for his team, and I think he and Zach, the growth they've made in that department, I didn't know if I'd ever see that, and I'm really proud to see that. They're making great progress on that front. See you Sunday.